Lessus? I'm going to say it's Lessus. Lessus is an unpopular garden world with characteristics just outside of the comfort zone of its Asari population. Its gravity is a little too high, its diseases a little too virulent, and the soil inhospitable for growing food. Further information is difficult to come by. The Asari government is uncharacteristically silent about Lessus. Normally a garden world settled so long ago would be highly populated, but little light population can be seen on Lessus's night side. Easy for me to say, apparently. Yeah, and there's a reason for that. And once we get here, Liara's gonna let us know exactly why that is.
Dig up any information on the mission, Liara?
Asari High Command hid a lot from us. You're headed to an Ardat Yakshi monastery.
Ardat Yakshi? Like Morinth?
No, these Ardat Yakshi lived in the monastery so they wouldn't, or couldn't harm anyone. However, they're still powerful biotics, and potentially very dangerous. That's why High Command sent commandos to investigate the monastery's distress signal.
That is less than encouraging. What were the commandos' orders?
If there was a chance the Ardat Yakshi could break loose, the commandos were to purge the monastery.
Purge? You mean destroy?
They would have brought heavy explosives with them, yes.
Morinth was dangerous, but are the Ardat Yakshi this big of a threat?
Morinth was just hitting her stride. Ardat Yakshi who kill leave behind astronomical body counts. That's why High Command won't rest until this place is destroyed. They'd never risk a single Ardat Yakshi getting loose.
Don't assume anything. Maybe the Ardat Yakshi sent out the distress call. If the Asari want us to destroy this place, I need to know what happened.
Agreed. Once we give a report to High Command, they'll stop wasting lives here.
Jelix, the second planet.
Oops.
Jelix, the second planet.
That's not the one I wanted to show. No, not that one either. Here we go. Ardat Yakshi, Demon of the Night Winds, are Asari suffering from a genetic disorder preventing conventional melding of nervous systems during mating. Instead, Ardat Yakshi electrochemically ravage their partner's nervous systems, in extreme cases leaving victims as vegetative invalids or corpses. Asari psychologists regard this incapacity for mental fusion as preventing the development of empathy, leading to psychopathy. I hope I said that right. There is no known cure. The disorder generally begins in infancy, reaching full pathology during maiden adolescent sexual development. While seductive and sexually driven as other Asari, Ardat Yakshi are congenitally sterile. Ancient Asari mythology held Ardat Yakshi as gods of destruction, depicting them as villains of countless legends, and as the anti-heroes of numerous Asari epics. Contrary to popular belief, Ardat Yakshi are neither extremely rare, around 1% of Asari dwell on the AY spectrum, nor are they all murderers. Most cultivate and discard countless exploitive and abusive relationships during their legally marginal lives. Despite rumors of Ardat Yakshi syndicates by nature, Ardat Yakshi are incapable of long-term cooperation. As a disproportionately wealthy species, Asari employed their economic reach and media ownership to hide the AY pathology from the galactic community, placing most Ardat Yakshi in modern work programs or seclusion. Only the most aggressive cases are sentenced to sanitaria, and prisons, or to the execution lists of justicars. which is why Morinth was on there. Now, there is another one that I want to show you guys here that's actually unique. It's this one right here, Crucible functionality. We'll read that later, but that's added specifically from the mod that I got later on that's supposed to add more to how the Crucible and the Callus are going to work, but that'll be later. For now, what do you say we actually go through what... I'll be honest, this is actually one of my favorite missions because the atmosphere, especially here early on, is, I think, pretty cool. It's really, really creepy. You feel like you are going to a place where xenomorphs have been, and you just are like... it's dark and it's quiet and you're just kind of like on the, the tips of your toes, just like, just nervous and stressed about them popping out of the walls at any moment. And, I think it's really well handled.
The C-111 Skyline shuttle is exuding heat, indicating recent use.
I was testing something because I've actually... So, in preparation to do this mission, I was having an issue with a mod that I want to do for this mission specifically, and it didn't seem to be working. So I double-checked the mod on the site, and turns out they made an extra one that's supposed to actually work with the community patch and framework, as opposed to the one that I was using, which was not. So I switched the mods, and it's now working fine. But in the process, I decided to go ahead and get rid of the Unlimited Sprint mod because I wanted to get the mod that removes the Reapers from the Galaxy map and just gives me like unlimited range to see if that would work. And it is now working. So I was curious about how I'm going to deal without the Unlimited Sprint.
Power.
That vocalization exceeds Asari vocal cord range. As do those.
Yeah, those screams. So creepy. A reminder, students are not allowed to visit each other's quarters or to meet in rooms unsupervised by staff. Students are also forbidden from extranet communication without approval by senior staff members. There are no exceptions to these rules. First offenders will have their free time revoked for a month. Further violations will be met with confinement. Our monastery is our shelter. For it to remain that way, we must make sacrifices. If we do this, I have faith that if we continue to enjoy the order and peace this galaxy has given us, this place has given us. Matriarch Galay. Now, here's something odd. Now, how many of you remember the conversations that we had with Samara back in the second game? We talked to her about this when we were discussing Morinth with her. And she gave us the impression that her daughters were the only Ardat Yakshi around. You guys remember that, right? We talked to her and she said, 3 Ardat Yakshi are in existence, and I have 3 daughters. It is as it sounds. So she was basically implying to us that her daughters were the only Ardat Yakshi around. So what I find odd is that this is implying that this is a place where there's clearly more than 2 Ardat Yakshi here. Because why would they make this notice for just her 2 daughters if they are the only ones here? So it just becomes a little confusing in that regard. Unless Samara was just wrong or misinformed or whatever, but...
Did you hear that?
Stay sharp. I heard something.
That was me. Sorry.
Garrus!
believe what Yen has managed to smuggle in. A copy of Vanya. Meet us after supper in the library. Bring some study work. Reel is floor warden tonight, so act natural. We'll be by the East Video Banks. This is gonna be so great. See you there. Oh, and delete this once you listen to it. Not like last time.
Again, it just seems like what Samara told us was just outright wrong if this is the case. To our staff and students, attached is our new daily schedule. Please note that wake-up time has moved forward 15 minutes. Floor wardens can download chore lists later this week. Please see Matriarch Alay or myself if you have any questions or concerns. Sincerely, Superintendent Jethra. Wake up! 5:30 to 5:45 a.m. Breakfast, 5:45 to 6:15 a.m. Morning meditation, 6:15 to 8 a.m. Study period, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Chores, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Midday meal, 12 to 12:45. Classes, 12:45 to 5 o'clock. Study period, 5 to 6. Supper, 6 to 7. Evening meditation, 7 to 8. Free period, 8 to 10. Curfew, 10 p.m.
Reapers. Looks like we know why the commando teams went silent.
This monastery's out of the way. What do the Reapers want with Ardat Yakshi? Anything useful?
A floor plan marked with a nav point location for a bomb. It's planted inside the monastery's Great Hall.
At least it's no surprise Nuke on Tachanka, but the commandos want this place gone pretty badly.
Ardat Yakshi or not, evacuating this place would have saved a lot of lives. If there's no survivors, let's get to the Great Hall and set off that bomb.
Yeah. That's what Shepard may think at first, but, let's just say once we see what those screams are coming from, she may change her tune on that. Snowing.
Very good. I almost didn't hear you.
Samara!
Samara?
It has been some time, Shepard. You are a most welcome sight. The corruption here runs deep.
What brings the Justicar out here?
My daughters have lived here for centuries, Garrus. I've come for them. Unfortunately, the Reapers had already infested this place by the time I arrived.
You met me hunting down your other Ardat Yakshi daughter. Are these ones just as dangerous?
Faller and Rila have followed the monastery's rules ever since they arrived. They've shown no inclination toward violence.
And you're here to save them?
They are my responsibility. And it's one that cannot be abandoned, even as our galaxy crumbles.
So, in case you're wondering, yes, it was the mod that had to do with Samara's armor, because I wanted to keep the consistent look that I had her wearing in the previous game to carry over into this one. Like I said, at first it wasn't working until I realized I had to get the separate mod they made that works with the community patching framework. So, once I got that in, it started working just fine.
Let's go together. Maybe your daughters can tell us why the Reapers hit this place.
I suspect they will have much to tell us. It has been centuries since I last saw them. We're out of time. We'll meet again. I will draw these creatures off.
Wait! Let's go.
My name is Tashia Pore. I'm wounded. Bad. Give this to my bondmate, Weshra. Asked her to go to the Citadel and tell Weshra I love her. Tell her. Sorry we fought. I was an idiot. Didn't mean any of it, Weshra. Want you to have everything of mine, okay? Love you. I love you so.
Not enjoying having to constantly deliver these very sad
This
messages.
was likely the Reaper's initial attack site.
Think the monastery got any warning?
Few signs of resistance. I'd say very little warning.
Yeah, does this look like an arena?
That one's new.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the creepiest villains in the entire game. One of the creepiest enemies, I should say. The Banshee.
The Reaper called Harbinger is believed. Banshees are the corrupted Asari often found leading a Reaper strike force. The Reapers create them specifically from Asari with active or latent predispositions to becoming Ardat Yakshi, a rare neurological condition that enhances the Asari's biotic power while causing the immediate death of anyone she mates with. Lumbering as though in constant pain, the emaciated Banshees are surprisingly durable opponents. They are devastating biotics, able to hurl lethal balls of energy and create shock waves as they regenerate. What Alliance military finds most disturbing is the Banshee's ability to spawn her own warp field and seemingly teleport during combat. Although their wails have no apparent physiological effect, the psychological impact is undeniable. When Banshees die, their Ardat Yakshi genetics twist against them, causing a biotic implosion to ensure they evade capture.
And that was just the first. All the multiple wailing that we heard? Yeah.
That Asari has undergone Reaper conversion. We will have to inform Asari High Command.
Mother, you came. As soon as I was able. Shepherd, this is Falere, my youngest. She and her sister Rila are Ardat Yakshi. They have
Mother, they have Rila.
What?
I saw some of those creatures take her into the Great Hall. I've been trying to get there.
What are the Reapers doing here?
Harvesting us. They're turning us into those monsters. Please, You can't let that happen to Rila.
The Asari thought the Ardat Yakshi were to blame for the attack.
This is our home. Most of us are grateful to be here. The monastery is a place Ardat Yakshi can achieve peace.
Valere speaks truthfully, Shepard. I vouch for her words, with pride.
Then we have to find Rila fast. The Great Hall has a bomb in it.
A bomb? What, didn't you come to rescue people?
We'll try, but we can't leave this place standing, Valere.
You sound like the Commandos. They didn't stop to help anyone.
Valere?
I'm sorry.
Valere! The Great Hall. She's looking for Rila.
We'll meet you there.
Please be swift.
Just in case you wanted to get another close-up look there. You'll get another later, trust me.
Jethro, this is Galay. I've blocked extranet access. We don't need the students panicking about these Reaper rumors. Still, it will not hurt to tally our supplies. Please bring me an inventory before evening prayer. I'll contact Thessia later tonight to inquire what set the Asari to war. Go in peace.
Despite this destruction, most of the damage to the monastery is cosmetic.
Really?
A remarkable amount of this complex is structurally intact. For now.
Jethra, I had the new girl put in a holding chamber. The Justicar who brought her to us, Justicar Fora, said she had trouble convincing the prisoner coming to the monastery was necessary. This may explain why the girl lashed out at her guards. She's lucky Fora wasn't here for that. The Justicar's code would have demanded an execution. I'll question some other Justicars on the level of coercion Fora's permitted to use by the code. This isn't the first time her capturers arrived here terrified out of their wits, but it will certainly be the last, Matriarch Galay. Jethra, I looked over this year's candidates for supervised visits to Thessia. I'm approving everyone but Yanis. She's impulsive, cunning, and worst of all, a romantic. Find me a worse combination to let outside of our walls. I find it suspicious that she was even nominated. Let's look into that and pray it's not Yanis manipulating another infatuation. It takes a great deal of time and effort to persuade Thessia's government to let our best students visit their own homeworld. Unless Yanis matures, she won't be among them, Matriarch Galay. Yep, that's what happened when one of them dies. Oh.
Another dead commando. Was she holding off Reapers, or was she left behind?
It's likely she volunteered to set up nearby explosives.
At least we're carrying on her work.
Now there's Samara and Falaire.
The bomb appears intact.
So does Falaire.
Rila, wake up! Falaire, Rila cannot hear us. Still alive. I know, but I'm afraid.
She's not one of them yet. She can't be.
She just needs to wake up.
Rila? Rila, can you hear me?
Oh boy.
Why did she do that?
Because they've begun to turn her into one of the Reaper's creatures.
I'm sorry.
Poor Samara.
Can we set off that bomb?
The explosives require a detonator.
Commandos would have had one. We've got to find it.
Oh boy.
Later.
So seeing this is part of the issue with this mission, given what we had already learned previously. Remember how I mentioned that Samara told us that there was only 3 Ardak Yakshi? If that was true...
Last one down.
For now. Let's get back to that bomb.
Then why are we seeing so many Banshees?
Falaire, go! Take the elevator! Rila, what are you doing? It's too late for me. There are hundreds coming. Just go!
The detonator.
Move!
No! Rila! I love you. Rila!
Kudos to Rila. What she's about to do here takes a lot of courage. Because look at what is about to come down on her. Look at this. That took a lot of guts for Rila to do that. Poor Samara.
Rila, there wasn't even time to say goodbye.
Few can break the Reaper's hold. Rila's will was extraordinary, as was her love for you.
We left her to die.
Rila made her choice, and it has reminded me of what is truly important. Why I swore I'd lay down my life.
What is that?
Falair, the code demands an Ardat Yakshi cannot live outside a monastery that no longer exists.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Shepard. By the Justicar's code, there is only one way to save Falair.
Mother, no!
My daughters, you were all so much stronger. Let go.
What are you doing?
Fulfilling the code.
By throwing your life away?
I won't kill my last daughter.
You won't have to.
Falair?
I'll stay here. Home. No matter what's become of it.
Without a proper monastery.
I could have left any time. I don't need a building to honor my own code. And if the Reapers return, they won't take me alive. I promise.
Then, the code permits you to stay, as you are. Once this war is over, and if I am able, I will visit, as a Justicar should.
I'd understand if you wanted to help Falair rebuild a home here.
It must wait now that I can help oppose the Reapers. I'll speak with Falair, then join your forces. If you'll have me, of course.
I'd be honored.
The honor is mine, my friend.
Everything's taken care of down here. Bring in the shuttle.
Right, Commander. I'll just follow the smoke.
I read your report, Commander. We had no idea the situation had deteriorated so quickly.
That's why I set off the bomb.
May the Ardat Yakshi find rest. What the Reapers did to them was monstrous. I had another team of commandos headed to the monastery who I can now formally transfer to Admiral Hackett's command. They'll serve you loyally, Commander. Farewell.
Commandos. Samara. Bolus Dreadnought. Bolus Bombing Fleet. Engineering Corps. Zaid. Element Zero Converter. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I need to read this for you guys, just for later reference. This was a unique codex entry that was made for the Audimus Happy Ending mod. The purpose of this is to explain why... it's basically to get rid of the idea that what happens at the end with the Crucible and the Catalyst is space magic, as is put in the page of the mod. As construction continues, the brightest minds in the galaxy have begun to unravel the sophisticated scientific principles behind the Crucible's design. The device is capable of emitting a dark energy wave that weakens the binding energy of the nucleon, resulting in atomic destabilization. As Reaper technology is both organic and inorganic, researchers speculate that it is possible to kill a Reaper by irradiating the exotic inorganic materials that compose their outer shells. The organic components within would then be damaged at the cellular level by extreme radiation poisoning. Though theoretically sound, this raises two major complications. The energy wave is subject to inverse square law with a limited radius of 4.6 billion kilometers, far too low to affect anything beyond the system that it's activated in. Additionally, it's unclear how it could be directed in a way that prevents organic beings suffering the same grisly fate as the Reapers. Crucible scientists believe that the catalyst is the key to resolving these issues, but the exact nature of this component remains a mystery. So there's also going to be another codex entry that we unlock later, which is going to be an extra kind of like follow-up to what we just read here. The idea is that they're trying to help make what happens at the end make more sense. The Cerberus coup. Councilor Udina's attempted coup will no doubt be analyzed for generations to come, but a clear picture is beginning to emerge. Udina had contacted Cerberus to coordinate what was intended to be a bloodless takeover of the Citadel, in which he would force the other counselors to grant him emergency powers so that he could command the Citadel fleet. He would then direct the fleet to liberate his homeworld, Earth. The plan fell apart early when the Solarian counselor caught wind of it in defense of the plan. The Elusive Man dispatched his top assassins, commanded by Kai Lang, to kill them. Udina had little choice but to support the assassins with an armed force sufficient to hold the Citadel. Captured confidants have indicated that Udina and Lang's alliance was relatively fragile. Udina may have planned to turn on Cerberus once the fleet was his to command, and Lang departed when he calculated that Udina would not succeed. Persistent rumors suggest that Udina might have been a high-functioning victim of Reaper indoctrination. His actions played right into the Reaper's plans. Even if the coup failed, it would damage Citadel governance. If it succeeded, his plan to retake Earth would likely have turned into a military blunder that Council forces could ill afford. However, there is no direct evidence of his indoctrination, nor obvious opportunity. It is more likely that Udina acted out of desperation, and in doing so, cost humanity its counselor. So now, after all that at the monastery... By the way, just a showcase, this is another mod I found. You guys know how FemShep has a leather jacket as a casual option, but FemShep did not have that in vanilla? It always bothered me that she, for some reason, just couldn't have a leather jacket option. So there was a mod where you can literally add a leather jacket option for FemShep. Now, there's another one where it's just straight up a leather jacket with a shirt and such, but I've always liked this leather jacket hoodie kind of combo. It's still a hoodie that she has on, it just has another leather jacket component to it, and it looks like instead of like sweatpants, she's wearing jeans. This is much more my style, and I love that it's also like looks like she's wearing a t-shirt underneath it. This is very much my kind of style. I love this look.
Cerberus seemed popular for a while. They were fighting the Collectors while the Council sat and watched.
And now they're killing civilians and attacking our allies.
Commander, Dr. Chakwas sent word that she'd like to speak with you down in the medbay.
Again?
The project received some new tech from the Asari government.
I'm glad they've decided to help the war effort.
Everybody has to fight now, no matter how pretty you are. I learned that the hard way. Commander?
From Samara, challenges exist to be overcome. I will enjoy fighting the Reapers. I tire of duties that test my resolve and not my courage. Boom! Just blew up an entire Reaper base. Brought the whole thing down. Reminded me of you, Jack. Javik, visit the Citadel. Commander, I find this messaging system to be outdated and clumsy. I assumed Specialist Trainer was joking when she said I had to type letters to form words. I want to visit the Citadel the next time we travel there. In my lifetime, it had been captured by the Reapers. If you would like to join me, I would be in the area where the embassies are located. I believe this concept of galactic control shared among races is a lie. Liara, getting away from work. Shepard, I need an excuse to tear myself away from all these monitors. Come see me the next time we dock on the Citadel. Liara. From Corrine LeMays, Commander Shepard, as As of an hour ago, Asari High Command has assigned my squad to support you. We will ride with the Second Fleet until it's time to deploy. If you'll allow me a personal note, I knew a few of the commandos who went down to that monastery. Nothing will bring them back, but hearing that the place went up in smoke is the only good news I've heard in weeks. Ready to serve, Captain Corrine LeMays. Juskar Samara, headed for the front lines. Shepard, I have finished my business on Lessus. I would offer to travel once again with you on the Normandy, but this code dictates I join the fight where it is most dire. While you do your essential work, I will do my best to help hold the front. Before I depart, I'll return to the Citadel for a short time to prepare. If it does not interfere with your duties, come find me there. Samara. I believe she'll be able to say, yeah, I can join you afterwards, once we go talk to her, as part of the Expanded Galaxy mod. Garrus. Take a break. Shepard, I thought next time we're at the Citadel, maybe we could take a break. Can't fight a war without a little R&R once in a while. I'll be hanging around CSEC near the shuttles if you're interested. Garrus. Miranda. Found something. Shepard, I discovered a few things about my sister. It's bad, but there's something else going on. I'm back on the Citadel. I'll find a place to meet and send you a nav point when you get there. Miranda. Lieutenant Commander Williams Memorial. From Ashley. Shepard, my sister got everything set up at the Citadel Memorial. She showed me what she's going to put up on the wall. It's nice. I wish I could do something to make this easier for her. She wants me to say something about our family. I know you're busy, but it would mean a lot if you could be there. Ashley. Gray Sato, still kicking. Commander Shepard, just want to say how indebted I am to you, not just for saving my life, but for giving me a greater sense of purpose. After our ordeal securing the array base on Tarum, I now know I have something more than my technical expertise to offer. Gray Sato. Black market in the refugee fleet. Biological attack on Parthia. Hack diplomatic schedules. A coalition of independent colonies, lesser races, and minor powers has formed in the wake of the Citadel coup. These factions had once been content to let the council races win the war alone, but they now fear their complacency will lead to their ruin. They wish to offer military and economic support, but their attempts to pledge these have been sidelined by a council that is in disarray and focusing inward. With your authority, diplomatic VIs could be hacked to force the negotiations to take place. Though a breach of Citadel law, this move could potentially save billions of lives. Authorize. Okay. So, looks like I gotta do some more rounds on the Normandy and on the Citadel, and we'll be doing that when we return. Stay tuned.